Take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space with the air like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Give me love, don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Good afternoon, VCV, Facebook, and LinkedIn fans. It is Monday, the 22nd of August. And, I always say, you got to start where you start off, how you going to end. Start off happy, happy, happy. There's so much crap going on. We got elections right on the next day going on, the primaries, so much negative stuff. We got to start inputting with positive. We need positive. It'll help us carry through the rough periods until we get to Wednesday. Then you got to start over again. So anyway, I'm Tony Williams from Veterans Council Veterans. Here's my weekly update. And we're going to really talk more about the military sexual trauma. But until then, intro. Hello to this 22nd of August. I know some of you guys went to work and you have your lunchtime. I want to give you a nice update on what's going on. I'm totally focused on what's going on with the Military Sexual Trauma Conference, and it's right around the corner. This is something that I always wanted to. This is something that, if people don't know, women veterans have twice the rate of suicide than non-women veterans, and the main reason is military sexual trauma. That's one reason why we're having it. But also, if you have a family member who was around you when you're going through this, most of the time we manifest in PTSD, depression. That also affects you, and that can make the family vulnerable to what's called generational trauma. So we want to affect that with this conference. It's going to be very, very exciting. I'm excited about it. It's going to be this Friday and Saturday. And what I want to give you real quickly is a kind of like the program view on what we're going to be looking at when it comes to the 26th and 27th August over here at USF Tampa. So let's play it. Sorry, disconnect here.
that doesn't excite you, I don't know what it is. I'm so excited about this. You just saw that lineup. We have a lineup almost 16, 18 panelists, all on veteran except for 2, taking a time out on a Friday and Saturday to have a positive impact on military sexual trauma survivors who suffered military sexual assault. Let's call it what it is, and their families. Friday and Saturday starting at 1 o'clock, as you saw there. We have a ton of people. I want to thank some of the sponsors. I tell you, really had to work for the sponsors. I want to thank 40 and 8 for providing their sponsorship. Project Vet Relief for their sponsorship. Definitely want to give a shout out to Mission Barbecue. They're going to actually provide the lunch for our panelists on a Saturday. So great shout out, great sponsors. I want to make sure that we all know about it. And for those of you guys in May who may say, hey, well, that went by too fast. Can you talk about it? Talk about it. I'm going to use this time, since this is my time, to kind of go over what exactly we're going to be, what you're looking at in that nice slide here. So first of all, let's talk about, I'm going to be MC, because, I'll be, and this MC is different. We're really going to introduce a panel, but the panel will do most of the talking. I'm just going to introduce them. So day 1 on the 26th of Friday, it's going to, you have 1 to 2 you see on the screen for registration. Then it's all about connecting. The 3 major important principles of this conference is connect, educate, and empower. Well, we start the connection on Friday, where we're going to do something different. When we show up, we got close to 100 people that's going to be at this convention. We're going to give each one 45 seconds to introduce themselves. It may take long or whatever, but that's okay, because it's about connecting. We want to know who's there. So if you're coming, make sure you be ready to give a 45-second thing of, hey, I'm Major Williams from the Army. I'm in Tampa. Glad to be here. Real quick, boom, next one. So we got to connect. Then to continue that connection, we have a social networking where you get a chance to meet some of the panelists before they present on Saturday, talk to each other, learn about each other, look at some of the booths that are there so we can get a better feel, because you're going to need it on Saturday, because Saturday is the real deal, guys and ladies. Saturday is the day 2. You can see here all the things going on. We got a special guest, Tanya Oxidon, retired Sergeant Major, was the 82nd Airborne Battalion Command Sergeant Major, and also the Division Sergeant Major. So she understands what a survivor goes through, not just before she went in the military. She has experienced sexual assault, but she also experienced in the military. So what better person to sit there and let you know that it's not because of your rank. You did nothing wrong. It's that person who wanted to take advantage of you that did something wrong. We got to call it out. And that's what Sergeant Major Oxidon is going to talk about. We're going to have 2 panels with the social determinants. We'll go here. We got the social determinant experience. We got sexual assault and mental health. We want to talk about, I love panels, because when you have panels, you have more than one voice. We need more than one voice when it comes to MST. Same thing with suicide. You cannot put one-stop shop. It doesn't work that way. You can't scale it. It's too individual. And so we want to make sure our panels of the survivors are diverse as well. And we're going to also, finally, last but not least, we're going to talk about the benefits. I already mentioned to you our guest speaker, Sandra Oxidine. We're going to have you get the Amon Bradford. He's a president chapter for the Student Veterans of America. He'll be doing a videography, so he'll be taking testimonies and video this event so we can document it and keep it going. And at the end, we got old Meryl. Meryl's 15 years old. Her father and her mother has volunteered her to sing the national anthem on Saturday. So let's make sure we give her a great response when we get there. First panel is MST and the family. We have Dr. Mays, who was retired Air Force E9, who now has his own private practice. The Amazing Grace, the Amazing Service. I'm sorry. He's got a PhD in education, as well as a licensed marriage and family therapist and a Christian counselor. So great for him. He'll be there to talk about the families who are affected by a survivor who has MST. He'll be able to help give us insights. Same thing as Stephanie Sims. Stephanie Sims is a VCV tribe member, been here for a couple of years, licensed mental health counselor, and as well as an Air Force licensed mental health counselor. She'll be also explaining what we can do to help the family members out as they sit there and they go through the struggles that the survivor is going through as well. And finally, we're gonna have Tiffany Davis, who is a retired Army. She owns a restaurant, and it's called the Wales Point restaurant in Lake Wales. She's a survivor, and she'll talk about how MST affected her family relationship as well. So that's something that you don't see anywhere else. That's what we talked about in our session on Saturday, first thing in the morning. Then we'll meet the panelists. On the panels we have here, we got Jennifer Williams. Jennifer Williams is the owner of Anchor Branding. And her assault happened way before the military and people really focused on MST, and now they understand why they're getting triggered. And when she recognized that, first thing she did is try to put on the claim, and we'll talk about how that turned out as well. So we got Jennifer, what I call functional survivor. Lakeisha Houston, also a VCV tribe member, been a tribe member for at least 3 years, retired Air Force, MST survivor, but she's an advocate for the MST survivors, and you've seen her all the time on Instagram and other mediums as she always advocates for the survivors. She'll be on. And finally, we have Kevin Cagle, who's a male MST survivor for the Army, and it happened to him, of course, when they don't believe you. Can you imagine being a male back in the 1980s and 90s saying you've been sexually assaulted? Well, Kevin had experienced that, so you'll hear a lot about him from the male survivor's point of view. Then we're gonna have what I call social determinants. It's called MST and social determinants. What the purpose of this panel is, let's get outside of the mental health piece and look at other things that affect the survivor, not just mental health. So we're gonna have our guest panelists who are, we have Dr. Beverly Borski. She's a reverend and a hypnotist, and she's also part of the LGBTQ community. So we're gonna look at MST, how it affects them as far as the faith part. We got Pastor Bill Lasasso, another one. He's been years of helping MST survivors and homelessness, because we got to talk about homelessness and MST. Is there a connection, and what are we doing about it? Dr. Tammy Foster, retired Major Air Force. She's going to be here, and you see she has lots of CEOs of all of her obstacle solutions, and just keep going on. Another functional. She never experiences sexual assault, but she did it. It was part of a dissertation for a PhD, so she's going to talk about some of the social effects that MST has. My battle buddy, Crystal Romero, she's going to be there. Crystal Romero, retired from the Army, National Guards and stuff. And now she's never been sexually assaulted in the Army, but she was supposed to be the one that victim advocate in the Army, and she's seen retaliation firsthand. And she's also pushed with Vanessa Gillian and more of these survivors that seen that you need to get them out there to get the help that they need. And finally, last but not definitely still the best, is Nitsa Rivera. Nitsa, retired E8 Master Sergeant from the Army. She's also worked for the Habitat for Humanity, and they're going to address the housing piece as well as the homeless and housing piece that Habitat provides. So we can address those things that affects the survivor. Whoa, then we have MST and mental health. And right now, everybody on this panel are all veterans, right? And we asked for a VA representative, but right now we haven't gotten one, so it's going to be us, which is cool. We got to tell you one thing: I just told you, of the 16 panelists, 14 are us. So what we have here, looking at as our panel, we're going to have Tracy Ramos. He's retired Navy, LMHC, got his own private practice. He'll also be talking from the LGBTQ point of view as well. We got Jean Gautreaux, who is a VCV tribe member as well. That's contributed greatly to veterans for the last couple of years. Got her own private practice called Limitless Growth, and retired Air Force. We have Stephanie Sims again, retired Air Force. And finally, we have Jocelyn Dean, who is an Air Force veteran, LMHC, Lifetime Counselor, works at a crisis center, and she definitely has experience when dealing with MST in groups. And so we got to have a really good panel when it comes to mental health. Next, at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, we'll have a second panel of survivors. Tiffany again will be on speaking as well. Vaughn Griggs, retired, has done a lot of things. She's a CEO of Griggs Safety Consultant, as well as the founder of Joy Restore Outreach. She'll be on. She's a survivor. And last but not least, Audrey McHugh. She's also a veteran, a Navy veteran, have experienced sexual assault, and she's trying to do something about it. You'll see more about her. You got to come to the event to sit there and meet Audrey, because she's doing lots of things. The one thing about everybody in this conference, they be about it. Not just talk about it, but be about it. Audrey's one of them people as well. Last but not least, we're going to have benefits and claims, because the one thing we want to know is if, it may take some time to get the triggers and stuff like that, or when you can't win the military, they didn't really care about focus much on MST as they do now. So you say, oh man, that's me. Well, come with your questions, because you have an hour of questions and answers, and it's gonna be one of them. Our panel is gonna be attorney Rebecca Deming, who she's married to a veteran. They met out in Afghanistan, and she has the founder of Project Legal, and then also Dwayne Kimball, Jane Quindle, Army veteran, also retired from the Veteran Benefits Affairs, and he's an expert in benefits. So bring your questions. That we are here to answer them. Here are all our sponsors again. As you see there, our key team players that went behind the scenes. Tiffany Alta, who will be doing volunteer. If Tiffany will be the first person you see when you get to the conference, please treat our volunteers with respect. They are taking their time out for Friday and Saturday to be there, not getting paid, but they want to make sure we have a positive impact. So when you get there, please, you'll treat them with respect. First one you'll meet with Alta on Friday when you come at 1 o'clock, and she'll help you register. Lola is our virtual assistant. She's been doing a lion's share of this stuff, but unfortunately she's in the Philippines, so you won't see Lola at this event, but she definitely helped out. and eventually Tiffany as well. Helped out as well. I want to give a special shout out to people who, the volunteers, of course, out there, all of them volunteer. I want to volunteer, shout out to Wayne Taylor. Wayne Taylor is part of the Veteran Success Office at USF. He's the one who got out the venue. So I definitely want to thank you, Wayne, for that. And some of his students, Amon Broff, I just mentioned Amron, President Chapter for Student Veterans of America. He's been doing the videography. You need him. Again, when we start out, let us know if you don't mind being videotaped, get some testimonies. That's how this is going to grow and get more people out there. Tony Gross volunteer. She's got volunteer everything. She'll be out there. She's part of American Gold Star Mothers and also Fisher House. So she'll be out there. My wife Thelma, you see there, she's gonna be out there with Fran, Shante Hayward, Nikki Hernandez, and Paula. Thank a volunteer. We love you. We thank you. Thank you so much for being there, making this a success. Finally, at the end, it will be at this building, USF. It'll be CW Bill Young. It's got like 3 names. CW Bill Young Hall, ROTC. It's also ROTC building, as well as it's called the Joint Military Leadership Center. So all those 3 names. On your GPS, need to put in 12303 Maple Drive to get there, to find out where it's at. Call us beforehand. We'll make sure that you know that you also get what you need as well. Finally, for those who showed up, and most of us are staying over at the Holiday Inn Express, which is just across the street from the campus. It's at the 3751 East Fowler Avenue, literally no more than half a mile. No, 9.9 miles from the campus. If you did reserve there, guess what? We got a benefit for you. We at Veterans Council Veterans, we will come over and pick you up and drop you off for the events. So that way you don't have to spend money on Ubers and taxis or whatever to get there. And don't try to walk across that street on Fowler, because you ain't gonna make it. Okay, so we're gonna be there. Make sure you let us know when you register, or beforehand if you got an email, if you need us to help you out with transportation, and we'll make sure you're there. So beep. Make sure you sign up at Holiday Inn Express right across the street from the campus. Whew. That is it, guys. That is it. We did a nice rundown for our conference. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. I'm getting anxious. We're going to see a lot. So we're shooting for over 100 survivors. Our role is to reduce veteran suicide for military sexual trauma. We want to sit there and bring together the resources to the survivor as well. And we'll also be bringing resources for the families. We're the only ones to do this now. We're the only ones to do this. Most time we see military sexual trauma is normally led by VA, but this time it's led by Veterans Council Veterans, most of us are all veterans. So it's veterans helping veterans. For those who have registered, please share. Get somebody else registered well. If you need scholarships, we do not want money to be the reason why you can't make this event. So if you have any problem with as far as the money, the cost, please let us know. That will not be a barrier. We will definitely get our scholarship. We want you to have help as well as we move forward for the next year. So, that is a lot. But I wanted to let you guys know about this, and we're doing a lot grinding. Make sure this is a positive experience. My goal, my vision is next year we are going to be the talk of the town. We're going to have up to 300 to 400 people coming in. So be ready for next year for this event. So this is Tony. Let me just one more time. Don't want to forget about it. Our Sexual Trauma Conference, 26, 27 August. Starts at 1 o'clock on Friday, ends at 5 at the USF Tampa. 12303 Maple Drive. Be there, share, and we're always looking for sponsors. So if you happen to know anybody who wants to sit there help sponsor this, DM me, get in contact with me, and we can definitely work it out so we can help our family members get the counsel they need. That's it, man. That's a lot in the hand. You'll see more of me because this is a promotion time. I got to promote. You got to promote the event. Promote us. You'll see more of me till you get tired of seeing me. But this is what we're doing for VCC Update. Until then, you'll see me again later on. This is Tony Williams, Veterans Council Veterans, talking about the Military Sexual Trauma Conference on the 26th and 27th of August. Until then, outro.